All right, we are live. Welcome in, everyone. Stevie, Mind Flayer, good to see you guys. We're waiting. We're waiting. We have no idea what this guy's gonna say. It's been a week. It's been 7 days. Donald Trump not been seen. Last time we saw him, he was going on and on about how he won the election. Donald. Oh, Donnie. Poor soul. We're getting all these breaking news alerts that Donald Trump is projected to win Georgia. Arizona lawsuits getting dropped. Pennsylvania lawsuits getting dropped. That whole story of the Pennsylvania lawsuit getting dropped. Amazing. Amazing. I made a video about it. Tide Pod, good. There'll be things. Hey guys. Hello. Oh. We almost got 100 viewers in here. More than 100 viewers. Awesome. Awesome. Everybody's tuning in to find out what Don the Con is going to say. He bets LB things. I bet he's going to double down. Say again, I'm nervous what crazy thing. Oh, man. Yeah, guys, we have no idea. LeBron James in the house, everybody. LeBron, been a big fan of yours. My cousin played AAU basketball with you when you were 14 years old. We knew you were going to do great things, LeBron. You're the man. Oh, boy. So, Donald Trump, huh, guys? Oh, that happened. Donald Trump. I honestly think Donald Trump still has a chance. Oh, boy. It's liberal. So, the movement, I mean, not many people watched my latest video because it was kind of a random topic, but essentially what I wanted to do was start a little campaign on Twitter that geared at getting Anthony Fauci on shows like Kimmel and Colbert, because I'm hearing from family across the United States, in in particular like Florida, where people just aren't wearing masks, and you're seeing cases surging. 150,000 cases yet? Over 150,000 cases. And so it seems as though in, the parts of America who watch 60 Minutes and CNN, right, the older parts of America, we're seeing Dr. Fauci appear to make a little more, make an effort to get onto shows where he can talk to a different demographic. Um, and so the last video I made was um, trying to campaign people to tweet at Jimmy Kimmel and Stephen Colbert and Ellen DeGeneres their support for Anthony Fauci going on the show. I think is it needs to happen. Why do I feel like you just have a shirt on and no pants, Tide Pod? You're just trying to get a body shot of me, bro. I actually have pants on. I actually look like I am I'm ready for the job of news analyst live streamer. Yeah, they're slacks. I'm all dark blued out. See if I can. Yeah, I got pants. Got pants, y'all. Woo! Imagine if I just rolled back into frame and I'm just butt naked. Oh boy. I gotta keep it light. Gotta keep it light. Oh God. Oh boy, LeBron James is he's a huh. Yeah, LeBron James, dude, comparing Pfizer and Russians Not really the same thing. Stevie. Pull a tube in. Spida, is it pajama pants? You know, these things, I don't think I've slept in these things before, but it's kind of like this. It's this material that like stretches, right? That's the kind of pants I've been buying. Even making jeans now with like it's just like stretchy material, and I love that stuff. I got some like honking big legs here. That just like my thighs are like really big, you know? So um I gotta I gotta get stuff that like can material that can fit these tree trunks. All right. ACP, good to see you, man. Dawn is in the house. I wonder if that's the same Dawn as the Dawn commenting for a while. Pia says, "I hope he concedes." Yeah, I think a lot of us do. Brian Manville, greetings from Canada. Can't wait till you guys can pop up for a beer. Amen, Brian. Courtney, I have a feeling that he will be just spewing loads of bullshit for an hour. Well, if he does, then we're gonna have a fun time just picking his ass apart because you shouldn't be able to. Haunter. Yep. Yep. The rest of the world is laughing as our case is sore and as have an anti-science, anti-democracy apparently, right? Apparently Donald Trump is anti just everything that doesn't benefit. Henry, that's a good question. Would I try a Chinese uh, vaccine? I don't think so. I don't think so. I think I'm gonna listen to Fauci and the NIH on this. That's who I'm. That's who I'm. That's who I'm listening. Yeah, Matt. I mean, we already saw that he was trying to do that, and he actually, when Pfizer came out with that announcement, which again, like, really wasn't even Pfizer announced it, but there was, you know, Don Jr. Was the one who he came out saying, "Ah, this is a conspiracy theory, right? That Pfizer waited until after the election to announce the 90% effectiveness in the trial," which, like, I, 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 I frankly don't care after the election because if they were to announce it before the election, then they would be looked at as maybe trying to act in a political give give Donald Trump a political boost. Um, whereas after the election, the anti-vaxxers are the one, Don Jr., the one who talking about how this thing doesn't, how it doesn't add up, how it doesn't pass the smell test. But for everyone else, right? It's like, oh, Pfizer, if you guys actually did wait to announce this, which you didn't because you guys didn't even announce it, then like I kind of like respect you guys for it because you're trying to be apolitical and you're trying to actually save lives by waiting for the announcement. I thought that's what I thought. Lanky doesn't think he'll concede. Keith, is there a presidential address here? He Keith, Donald Trump has never been on time to his briefing. Like, it would not surprise me if we don't see him for another half an hour. I know I may like lose viewers by saying that, but guys, he's never, ever, ever, not once come out on time. And I think that's largely because I think he wants to, he just wants the press to sit there and wait for him. And he also wants to get his numbers up, right? I want everyone to be watching. What's up, Trizzy? Matt, no way he'll concede here. John, he'll announce a new COVID initiative that will be identical to Biden's and claim it was his plan all along. Oh man. Oh god. Or John, he'll just like legally change his name to Joe Biden and be like, "See, America did vote for me." Like this is my White House. You guys didn't know? I am Joe Biden. I am Joe Biden. Ooh, Spider Matt, he'll probably announce Trump TV. Wouldn't that be ridiculous? Oh my. Oh my. Yeah, that whole thing is a nightmare. Donald Trump yesterday, he was trying to get Tucker Carlson to quit and to join his little Newsmax. What a what a I'm good, Trizzy, and you're brand new to the channel, right? I think I saw your comment yesterday. So that's awesome. Thanks for coming back and checking it out. Should be interesting. I don't know. We're gonna see. Alert boxes. If anybody hasn't subscribed yet, be sure to subscribe. And then if you want to show up on the screen here up on top, you'll make sure to go into your settings, turn your descriptions to public so people can see them. Also get notification pops up. Evie says he'll concede in December. Why? Why do you think that, Stevie? Why not now? With, we're getting Arizona called, or the Arizona lawsuit dropped. Was Arizona called yesterday? Was that what that call was yesterday? Arizona was yesterday. Georgia was today. Was Pennsylvania? Pennsylvania was yesterday. Pennsylvania, Arizona yesterday. Thanks, LB. Wait. Awesome, Don. Yeah, thanks, ACP. It's just a couple bucks a month, and I thought it would be a good way to repeat. That's why Stevie and ACP and Mind Flayer have green next to their names because they're and the Reflect logo because they're special members. I also have a new design coming out with some new like gear to grab, so I'm gonna like pick that up so I can wear it in the videos. Really cool like shirts and sweatshirts to rock. Face Woman, hey. And so I'm going to be getting that going. And then what I'm also going to be doing for members is I'm going to start releasing my videos maybe like 10 minutes early, 5-10 minutes early, and just for members because I can do that. I have the ability to release the videos just for you guys. So then I'll be able to just jump in the comments for just a short time, just a brief time afterwards, so that I can just interact just with my members, which will be pretty cool. So if you guys are interested in that, I thought that would be a great way to reward memberships. And there's going to be a lot of cool stuff coming down the line too that I'm going to work on with this channel. And the bigger it gets, the bigger it grows. The cooler stuff that we're going to be able to experience. So I'm looking forward to it. Yeah, Radu, that's a good point. That's a good point. Baloney, hey, Radu, that's a good point. There's news yesterday that was breaking about Donald Trump making pleas to his base, to his supporters, to try to bring in money for his recount efforts, right? The lawsuits in which he has going in multiple states, or had going in multiple states until Pennsylvania law firm dropped it. Arizona, that just broke, that they're dropping that lawsuit. Um, why not? Why not, Baloney? Why not, man? Feeling feeling like I should rock the blue today. Um, so it turns out that all of that money that he was asking for, if you donated less than, I think it was $8,633, then that went into a fund that he didn't even have to use for the recount efforts, right? That could go to the RNC, that could go to um, his campaign rallies. That apparently that's what he wants to do from here on out. There's been reports of that over the past few days, but that's kind of iffy because time and time again we're seeing that like people are getting sick because of these super spreader campaign events. 130 of his secret staff are either positive or they fear that they're positive, so they're in isolation or quarantining. Um, News is just going to keep hammering the fact that Donald Trump and these rallies are a bad idea if he continues to do them. Um, and he's trying to get right. He's conning the people again, right? He's saying that, oh yeah, this money is going to go towards like the recount, the election recount. When in reality, it's just going to Donald Trump having parties, and that's what this really just boils down to. This all can just be boiled down to Donald Trump is a New York millionaire, elitist, whatever you want to call him. I'm not going to call him a billionaire, right? But call it what you want to call it. The guy just wants to party. Like he doesn't really give a damn about government. He's like a racist New Yorker, elite New Yorker who wants to party, right? Who got picked on by the first black president of the United States, and it like pissed him off a little bit, so he like ran against him. Turns out he won, and he's like, "Oh, okay. Well, I can just party in the White House, right?" He's old, crotchety, like not healthy, you know what I mean? Not like mentally, physically, he's not healthy. Do his coke and party. And so that's what we're seeing over the next like month and a half. Donald Trump just wants to party. That's all he wants to do. And so he's down to lie to his supporters and say, "Oh yeah. Help 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 be a patriot, right? Help be a patriot and pay for the legal fees." He just wants to party. That's all Don wants. Don the Con. He's a Nazi fascist. All right, Carla. I feel you. I feel your frustration. I'll let that comment go. Frustration. Patrick, he's not a billionaire. Right. ACP, dude, don't worry about those people disliking the video, man. I mean, the videos that I make are so they're politically charged and people are emotionally invested in these topics, and so like even a dislike on the video, it helps, right? It actually helps promote the video, because anytime anyone interacts with the videos, it just helps. So that's something to keep in mind for you guys. If even if you don't like one of my videos, like a longtime supporter, like you can dislike it. That's all good. Any little bit, any little interaction like helps make the video uh grow and helps make the channel grow, which is pretty funny because yeah, I have this thing live, guys. I have this thing live, so we're good to go there. I'll have that up. Um, so it was pretty funny. There was a video I made about the about Donald Trump Jr. calling for his Texas supporters to where it's like greet Kamala Harris's tour bus in Texas with like a train. They called it like a train. Guys, the anyway, weird. Like the sexual innuendo there is weird, right? Um, that video blew up, and it had something like 1,500 dislikes to 600 likes, and they were so proud of themselves. They just thought, "Oh, we sunk this video," which these people don't understand that. Like I said earlier, just a few minutes ago, like every little bit helps, but also like the revenue that comes from these videos, like, it doesn't matter if you like the video or dislike the video. Like, if you view it, then revenue goes to Google and the creator. So the funny thing about these, all these Trumpers were like, we showed this guy, and it was like one of my best performing videos that I had done. And I was just sitting back there like, oh man. I'm like reading through the comments like, you soy boy. That's like their favorite thing. Just a lot of like just really, really, really terrible comments. Trying to be so mean. And I'm sitting there, I'm like watching my analytics. I'm like, what? what are you guys doing? And again, I mean, I don't know how many of you guys know, but like I've been doing this since 2007, right? This channel's 4 years old because in 2016, I left the Daily Conversation, which is a channel that I founded with my brother, Bryce Plank. So, and I haven't really talked much about that. So if you guys are like, oh, like what conversation, like go check it out. It's one of the best channels, if not the best channel on YouTube. Like hands down, we put in so much work to that channel. He's still producing videos on that channel. They're more long form documentary type channels. I'm dealing with like the day-to-day, what's going down. But so that's what I did before this. And so, the idea that people are going to come into my channel, comment, and dislike the video, and that's just gonna like, that's just gonna hurt my feelings, is like, yeah, all right, man. I'm a veteran to hate online. So like, it's kind of funny, right? When you get people who are, you know, out to get you online, thinking that like, oh yeah, I'm gonna hit this guy where it hurts with my 70 character wisecrack. Not really. Ooh, yeah, we got a lot of people calling him a fascist. ACP, he's in debt over 400 million. Yeah, I mean that's what, and his debts are coming due. MFG, what's up? Good to see you. Nah, we're still going. I'm just cruising back up through the comments. Liking the video, help it show up on the homepage, and recommended. Yeah, absolutely. Woo. All right, Donnie. He's 15 minutes late. Oh boy, man. I don't know how much longer this coat's gonna last because I'm warm. Matthew Johnson, as a Canadian, I ask, what is Fox News? Um, hmm. Uh, how can I explain? It's like a propaganda network for um like millionaires and billionaires who want to blame all of our societal ills on immigrants or socialist policies or uh, extreme liberal Democrats. Um, and when I say propaganda network, I mean literally, you can watch that thing for like hours and not hear like one true piece. I mean, it's remarkable the level they go to try to convince people that that the Republican Party is the party of America, and the they're the they're the real loyal patriot, right? Not you, and that's their whole thing, right? You're not a patriot. I'm a patriot, right? It's just it's divide. divide and conquer, right? Courtney, the channel of bullshit and lies, also full of sexual predators. Of course, Courtney would say that. Yep. Count on the female perspective to come in and let that put that out there. Absolutely, Courtney. Amen. Yep. Oh, and it goes all the way up to the top to their founder. Yeah. Oh man, Ailes and Murdoch, both creepy old guys. Oof. Oof, oof, oof. So again, kind of waiting on Dawn. Mr. Padur. Hedur? Good to see you again. Jesse, what's up? I heard about Georgia, Jesse. Yep. Good news coming from Georgia. Georgia. Mr. Padur, can Trump activate the atomic football attacking Iran? I think that Donald Trump has largely been minimized by generals already, right? We already know that they're not giving him intelligence information on Russia. We know that our generals know that he is a Manchurian candidate for Russia. So I think it was pretty clear from day one, guys, that they were like, okay, look, like we'll let this guy do whatever he wants to do domestically, right? Because the people will hold him in check in 2020, and we did. But I think they have largely, I think they've been keeping him in check for. I don't know if he has full access to the nuclear football. Essentially, is what I'm saying. And again, like, I mean, how do you prove that? This is all such confidential information, top secret, as my grandpa used to say. Grandpa was a Navy admiral. Top secret, Brent. But I'm drinking a LaCroix, and that's soda water. That is the worst thing that you can drink on air. Because now I just have to burp all the time. Oh man. Whatever. Let's go for it. So I can't prove that. I can't prove that the military has has minimized him, but that's what I think has happened. Bologna, does celery taste good? You got to put something on your celery. Got to put something, right? Like hummus. Hummus on your celery is really good. Tuna salad, that's good. Sharia, 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 Sharia Kana. Damn, you look hot today. Thank you. So do you. Um, what do we owe pleasure? I don't know. Maybe I'm just getting dressed up for to watch the show, Donald Trump's last show. Oh man, it'd be great if he just says he's done. I could see Joe Biden wins, walks out, gets on Air Force One, flies to the airport, and just gets on a plane and just bounces to just see ya. Ooh, Michael Dowdy. Trump is a sore loser, along with being an incompetent, bigoted, fascist, selfish, greedy, demonic monster from hell. Here, I'll show this. Why not? Rogue Squatcher, which that's a cool name. Oh, look, it's a gathering of inbred leftist trash talking shit as usual. uh yeah. Matthew Johnson, cheese. What's the best media outlet for objective, neutral news, but with opinion pieces too? See, that's hard, last, because like you would say, if you want just straight like they go out of their way to not do the whole, um, it's Republicans' fault, it's Democrats' fault. You're gonna want to go stick with like the Associated Press. Um, but I mean, if you want like hard hitting journalism, then you would go with like your Washington Post and your New York Times. They're year after year, they continue to be recognized by their peers as uh, the journalists who were the best, were the best of the best. So yeah, that's what I would say. Ooh, John, interesting point. Might announce that he's stepping down to get Pence to pardon him. Yeah. Uh, Kimberly Osborne, this guy doesn't believe a word he is saying, and don't pay him. I'm not sure who you're talking about. Hello, Jeff Bezos. Yeah, I mean, I don't know what you're referring to. I mean, a $6 million contract for Jeff Bezos is like, fuck it. um, so yeah, I don't know. Ooh, I like that. Carla hitting it. Yeah, Bridget, unfortunately. Yeah, that was a video I made earlier today. 10% of the core of the Secret Service positive or are afraid that they've been in contact with someone who has COVID. Another agent who has COVID. Yeah, and that's all from Donnie's travel schedule, right? Absolutely, Sagan. Absolutely. We have no idea what's coming from this. We haven't heard from Donald Trump in a week, right? And it's just been story after story of how he lost and how his legal battles are amounting to nothing, right? His fight for election fraud. Nothing's happening. uh, Don, that's because dozens of people. I mean, we were talking about the Secret Service and how there's 130 people in service who are afraid that they have COVID. Uh, More than a dozen people from the election night, like they call it like a celebration, right? More than a dozen people have tested positive. And White House aides they've come out and they're talking to reporters about how frustrated they are that Meadows, the chief of staff, was like walking around like shaking hands, didn't have a mask on, talking to like aides and their families, right? So like who knows? Like there could have been like kids there who were sick, or like teenagers with who knows if like somebody has like an autoimmune disorder. I mean, it's just the level of incompetency on these people. It's so frustrating. It's so frustrating. Like we can't get them out enough. Ah, on now. So again, boom, guys, like half an hour late, right? Jeez. Oh, so that's why you guys are talking about warp speed. See, I didn't even see that. An update on Operation Warp Speed. Oh man, that's why you guys are like, oh, he's just gonna come out and he's just gonna take responsibility for the. All right, here we go.
Thank you very much. Thank you. It's beautiful out here this time of year. In the past 9 months, my administration has initiated the single greatest mobilization in U.S. history.
All right, he's not going to take questions. He's just going to read and he's going to bounce.
Time, numbers like nobody's seen before. No medical breakthrough of this scope and magnitude has ever been achieved this rapidly, this quickly, and we're very proud of it, and I had tremendous help from the military, generals, admirals, and many of the great people at the White House. Operation Warp Speed is unequaled and unrivaled anywhere in the world, and leaders of other countries have called me to congratulate us on what we've been able to do, and we've helped many countries with their ventilators and all of the problems they were having, and I'd like to congratulate everyone involved in this effort. It's been an incredible effort. As a result of Operation Warp Speed, Pfizer announced on Monday that its China virus vaccine is more than 90% effective. This far exceeds any and all expectations. Nobody thought they'd get to that level. And we have others coming which we think will be at equal level, maybe more if that's possible. In July, my administration reached an agreement with Pfizer to provide $1.95 billion to support the mass manufacturing and distribution of 100 million doses, with the option to purchase a total of 600 million doses shortly thereafter. Our investment will make it possible for the vaccine to be provided by Pfizer free of charge. Pfizer said it wasn't part of Warp Speed, but that turned out to be an unfortunate misrepresentation. They are part. That's why we gave them the $1.95 billion, and it was an unfortunate mistake that they made when they said that. We will work to secure an emergency use authorization, which should be coming down extremely soon, and my administration will then coordinate the distribution of the vaccine, and it will be approved. I think, again, it will be approved very, very quickly, we hope. The average development timeline for the vaccine, including clinical tests and manufacturing, can take 8 to 12 years. Through Operation Warp Speed, we're doing it in less than 1 year. If you had a different administration with different people, what we've done would have taken, in my opinion, 3, 4, 5 years, and it would have been in the FDA forever. This is 5 times faster than the fastest prior vaccine development in history. 5 times faster. Say it again, 5 times faster. Nobody can believe it, actually. 3 other vaccines are also in the final stages of trial. They'll arrive within a few weeks, and they will also be mass-produced, and the delivery will be very rapid. We're ready to go. The vaccine will be distributed to frontline workers, the elderly, and high-risk Americans immediately. It will be a matter of weeks. Get out very, very much ahead of schedule. Any schedule that I said we're going to be far ahead of that. We know that this virus primarily targets older populations and those with underlying health conditions as well. Over 99.98% of those under the age of 50 make a full and quick recovery. By giving the vaccine to high-risk individuals right away, we will dramatically reduce hospitalizations and deaths. Case levels are high, but a lot of the case levels are high because of the fact that we have the best testing program anywhere in the world. We've developed the most and the best tests, and we test far more than any other country, so it shows, obviously, more cases. By vaccinating the elderly and the high risk, we will effectively end this phase of the pandemic and allow seniors to reclaim their golden years, the golden years of their lives, which is so incredible. And it's about time that they can have those golden years. Again, this process is starting right away. Millions of doses will soon be going out the door. They're all ready, waiting for that final approval. As soon as April, the vaccine will be available to the entire general population, with the exception of places like New York State, where, for political reasons, the governor decided to say, and I don't think it's good politically. I think it's very bad from a health standpoint, but he wants to take his time on the vaccine. He doesn't trust where the vaccine's coming from. These are coming from the greatest companies anywhere in the world, greatest labs in the world. But he doesn't trust the fact that it's this White House, this administration. So
right, there you
we
go.
won't be
there
delivering
you go.
it to New York
clear.
until we have authorization to do so. And
wow.
that pains me to say that.
Oh, does it, Don, or do you love it?
Amazing vaccine at
what
90% and more. But,
what an asshole.
So the Governor Cuomo, will have to let us know when he's ready
what
for
an
it.
asshole.
Otherwise, we can't,
wow.
we can't be delivering it to a state
asshole.
that won't be giving it to its people immediately.
Oh, wow.
And I know the people of New York very well. I know they want it. So the governor will let us know when he's ready.
You know that they
He's
hate
had some
you,
very
Donald.
bad editorials.
And so this is what you're doing.
Recently
oh
about
my goodness.
This statement.
Wow. If they actually withhold this from New York, yo, Donald Trump, man, go to jail.
As soon as they let us know that they'll actually use it. And again, it's a very safe and a great vaccine. Already we have among the lowest case fatality rates, our country, anywhere in the world, the entire world. And we've performed significantly better than our peer countries. As far as therapeutics are concerned, my administration's also made critical investments in therapies that have helped reduce the mortality rate by 85%. That's, to me, one of the most exciting things. It's incredible, some of the antibody vaccines and others that have come out and have really helped people. 85%. Last month, the FDA approved remdesivir, and we've secured enough remdesivir to treat 850,000 patients. My administration finalized an agreement with Eli Lilly to purchase the first doses of their antibody therapy, which shows amazing results. This treatment will be available completely free of cost to patients. 5,000 units have already been shipped, and many more are going out the door as we speak. We've also reached an agreement with AstraZeneca for the large-scale manufacturing.
Right. So, I mean, it just seems like what he's trying to do is exactly what many of you guys thought. We did this, we did that, we did this. I mean, it's lies and threats. Coming out and threatening New York, all because Cuomo was like, hey, man, I don't trust you. I trust your scientists. Disgrace. Oh, what a disgrace.
Times and have made a historic investment into our industrial base. All states that requested PPE from the federal government have received the PPE almost immediately upon request. Every American who needed a ventilator has had access to a ventilator. Think of that. Very complicated piece of equipment, very expensive.
That's not true.
And we haven't had one person in this whole country that has requested or needed a ventilator that hasn't had it. Every single request has been immediately filled. So that was something that was a great job. And now we're helping the rest of the world with ventilators because it's a very hard thing. We're producing them thousands of ventilators a month. The federal government has 22,000 beds immediately available for states and jurisdictions that need additional capacity.
Okay, so he's lying about that. Mighty, he's not going to take any questions. I'm 99.9% sure. This guy's going to close his book. He's going to close his prepared remarks, and then he's running out of there.
Is rebounding far beyond any expectations. I see the stock market's up almost 400 points today again, and it's ready to break the all-time record. Our jobs records are incredible. The job numbers are incredible. In the last 6 months, we've created over 13 million jobs and slashed the unemployment rate by more than half. Last quarter, we witnessed the fastest economic growth ever recorded in the history of our country, 33.1%. It's a number that is more than double our highest. That was in 1952, and we've more than doubled it. The United States experienced the smallest economic contraction and the most rapid economic recovery of any major Western nation. We went down less, and we went up more, which is quite a combination of facts. While healthy Americans have gone back to work and to school, we continue to
With the
spare no
combination.
expense to protect the elderly and the vulnerable.
Oh, man.
According to some estimates, a national lockdown costs
Good
$50
point,
billion
ACP.
a day and hundreds
true
of
that.
thousands of jobs every single day. Ideally, we won't go to a lockdown. I will not go. This administration will not be going to a lockdown. Hopefully, the whatever happens in the future, who knows which administration it will be. I guess time will tell. But I can tell you, this administration will not go to a lockdown. There won't be necessity. Lockdowns cost lives.
Definitely
They
not
cost
conceding.
a lot of problems. The cure cannot be. You got to remember, it cannot be worse than the problem itself. And I've said it many times. And when you look at what happens during a lockdown, I just say it very loudly. It's horrible what happens with drugs, alcohol.
I'm not gonna
depression.
let him just continue on that matter. No one's threatening lockdowns. No one's threatening that. So just gonna let him talk for a little bit. Not gonna share that on. Wow, he's having a really hard time talking. Zhizh. Oh man, he's all the way to the point where he doesn't quite understand what he's reading.
Dr. Slawi have been
He's gonna bring
incredible.
some people up.
The general's really getting
Oh,
started
Deborah
right
Birx
now,
is
but
there.
it's
Okay,
really
interesting.
what we don't
Cool.
know and what people don't know. He
Fauci's nowhere to
started,
be seen.
putting this all together 6 months ago, and you're going to see some real action. So, General, maybe you'll start it off, and then, Doctor, you'll go right after that. Thank you very
All it
much.
took,
and then we're gonna
guys, was
finish it off with Mike
200
Pence. Okay, thank you. Please.
30,000 people dead.
Thank you. Sure.
Dozens and dozens of people sick in
you,
the White
Mr.
House for
President.
them to finally social distance.
everybody.
So, cheers.
So Operation Warp Speed's mission is to enable and accelerate
Don
the
doesn't know where to
development
go.
of vaccines and therapeutics to help control the COVID-19 pandemic and save lives. On May 15th, almost 6 months ago to the day, we stated the goal of the operation, which was to have vaccines and therapeutics available and approved for use in the US population by the end of the year 2020. We said then that while very challenging, the goal was credible and therefore was worth trying with the best, our best to achieve it. Today, we're almost 6 months later, and I think we can say that significant progress has been made. And while we are not there yet, we are close to the objective. Let me share with you some facts. If I look at the vaccine side, we've selected a portfolio of 6 vaccines using 3 different platform technologies, and we elected to have 2 vaccines from each platform technology. First platform is what's called messenger RNA, and 2 vaccines using that platform were in the portfolio, one by Pfizer and one by Moderna. The second platform is using what's called live viral vectors, and we had 1 vaccine from J&J and 1 vaccine from AstraZeneca in partnership with Oxford University. And the third platform was the recombinant protein platform with 1 vaccine from a biotech company here in the US called Novavax, and another one from a partnership between Sanofi and GlaxoSmithKline. These vaccines are now, 6 vaccines are all in the clinical development stages, and 4 of them are in phase 3 trials. And of the 4 that are in phase 3 trials, 2 have effectively completed enrollment in the phase 3 trial, and one of the 2 has announced on Monday, to, I think, thrilling information, that they had 90% efficacy. That was the Pfizer vaccine, demonstrating that vaccination is possible against COVID-19, that the kind of choices we have made in terms of the antigen selected was effective and made us optimistic that other vaccine may also be effective. On Wednesday, the same week, just this Wednesday, Moderna, the other company with the vaccine using similar platform technology, messenger RNA, announced that they have achieved the number of cases in their trial to allow for a first interim analysis, and I would expect that shortly, probably next week, we may hear what I hope to be another very good information regarding an efficacious vaccine. The two other vaccines that are in phase 3 trial that are using the live vector platform, the J&J vaccine and the AstraZeneca vaccine, have recruited already a few thousand subjects in their trials. I would like to take this opportunity to invite as many Americans as possible who would like to volunteer to participate in these clinical trials, as that's the only way we are able to achieve a demonstration of the safety and the efficacy of these vaccines. The last two vaccines, the recombinant protein vaccines, are planned to start their phase 3 trials within the next few weeks. And while we are developing this vaccine, we haven't only looked at the clinical development, of course, in partnership with the companies that are the sponsors for the vaccine. We also invested very significantly in the manufacturing of this vaccine in such a way as to, when we have the clinical efficacy demonstration with these vaccines, we would also have vaccine doses to be able to immunize the US population. So the two vaccines that are completing their phase 3 trial are likely to be filing their files with the FDA for a potential emergency use authorization within the next few weeks. And hopefully, if approved, they could be used for immunization in the US population in the month of December. And we plan to have enough vaccine doses available for use in the US population to immunize about 20 million individuals in the month of December, and another 25 to 30 million per month on an ongoing basis from there on. And as of the month of February or March, if we have more vaccines approved, such as the live vectored vaccine, we may be able to immunize a larger number of Americans on an ongoing basis per month. Operation Warp Speed didn't only focus on vaccines. We also looked at therapeutics, and we have worked with a number of companies developing monoclonal antibodies, in particular, that are able to neutralize the virus. As Mr. President said, we have announced partnerships with Eli Lilly, with Regeneron, and with AstraZeneca. And on Monday, Eli Lilly's monoclonal antibody was granted an emergency use authorization to treat patients that are infected and at risk of hospitalization. The Regeneron monoclonal antibodies have been also filed for emergency use authorization, which is currently under review and is potentially reaching approval within the next few weeks. And finally, AstraZeneca just in the last few days has received a green light to start two large phase 3 trials with their monoclonal antibodies supported by Operation Warp Speed to prevent the acquisition of COVID-19 disease in very frail subjects or in very high-risk subjects as a protective alternative to a vaccine. So, potentially 2 vaccines and 2 therapeutics may be granted an emergency use authorization before the end of this year. I think it's a remarkable achievement within a period of 6 to 7 months. It is important to note that this progress has been achieved without any political interference. I said it many times. And at every step has been and is being judged by independent expert bodies, whether it's when the FDA grants the green light to go into clinical trials, or whether when the data safety monitoring boards review the safety of the studies on an ongoing basis and sometimes put them on hold, as I'm sure you have witnessed with the AstraZeneca vaccine, for instance. And these same data safety monitoring boards are the independent boards of experts that analyze the efficacy of the vaccines and the safety of the vaccines and tell the companies whether they should progress with the filing of an emergency use authorization or not. So it's not the companies, it's not Operation Warp Speed, it's not the US government, it is independent experts that assess the safety and the efficacy of the vaccines that are being tested. And when the FDA will review these vaccines and these therapeutics, they will also have the advice, public advice, from boards. One of them is called the VRPAC, that is the advisory board to the FDA for vaccine reviews. After review of the data transparently and available to everybody to look into, before the FDA then make its decision to either authorize a vaccine or not authorize it. On that basis, I personally feel very comfortable to say that the vaccines and the therapeutics that we have helped develop and accelerate will be judged independently, and if approved, should be used by all in the population. Because I believe vaccination is likely to be the cornerstone among all the other measures that we have to take to help us really control this pandemic. I will now pass to my co-leader, General Perna, who will tell you more about the support that the operation has provided to manufacturing of the vaccine and also to their distribution. Thank you very much.
Mr. President, thank you for allowing me to continue service of our great nation as the co-leader with Dr. Moncef Slaoui on this mission. Let me start by emphasizing for me, what is Operational Warp Speed about? It is about saving lives. And it is a Herculean task that the President put us on many months ago. And as Dr. Slaoui just laid out, we are making steady progress and we are ready to execute. Through the whole of American approach, we have leveraged the best of nation in federal government, local, states, industry, and academia to expand the capacity and capability to achieve our mission. It has been powerful. We have capitalized on the best contracting, logistics, and planning experts available to synchronize and integrate all phases of the operation, from development of the vaccine, manufacturing of the vaccine, and finally distribution of the vaccine. 6 months ago, the capacity did not exist in our nation's pharmaceutical production base. We went to work building brick and mortar manufacturing facilities, bringing in the right specialized machinery and equipment, and prioritizing supply chain materials through the Defense Production Act. Today, we expect to have tens of millions of doses immediately following EUA, and we will distribute them as soon as the FDA applies the EUA. We will do that within 24 hours of the EUA. We are harnessing the strength of commercial industry and the existing vaccine delivery capabilities and infrastructure. Our nation deserves this. Vaccines will be allocated pro rata by population so that we ensure fair and equitable across. We need the states who are part of the planning to accept the vaccine. We are working closely along with the CDC, the 64 jurisdictions and states to ensure vaccine can safely and quickly get to those who need it first. And then we have plans to ensure that it spreads exponentially across our country and that no place is left without a vaccine. At the end of the day, our success is going to be judged by the availability of the vaccine as shots go in arms. It is the partnerships we have formed with the pharmaceutical companies like Pfizer and Moderna, distribution companies like McKesson, FedEx, and UPS, and pharmacies like CVS and Walgreens that have agreed to do things differently, to think, how can we get this to the American people in the most rapid and expeditious way? We will be successful because of this all of America approach, this collaboration, this effort that everybody is leading towards. I will end where I started. This is about saving lives, the lives of the great American people. And we will not rest until we are successful and that we have irreversible momentum to returning our nation back to normal. Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you, General, very much. Great job. Alex, please.
Thank you, Mr. President, for providing the leadership that's
So
gotten
weird.
us where we are today. The success that Operation Warp Speed has realized so far has been made possible only because of the bold vision you announced not even 6 months ago, right here in the Rose Garden. To highlight 3 of the remarkable accomplishments we've seen just this week. First, Pfizer announced very promising data on its vaccine candidate. Second, the FDA authorized and we have begun to distribute and administer Eli Lilly's monoclonal antibody to help Americans at risk for serious disease stay out of the hospital. Third, another vaccine company, Moderna, announced that it's reached a critical clinical trial milestone, meaning we may see data from them within days. Back in the spring, we were told by all of the experts that a vaccine was a year or a year and a half away, and the announcements I just highlighted would have been unthinkable. The President said that's not acceptable, and thanks to the support he's provided, we're now on track to deliver a safe and effective vaccine to our most vulnerable this year. As I worked with the President to assemble this team and organize this effort, his support was indispensable.
Do any of us really believe that Donald Trump was the one that said, "Oh, let's do all we can to get this vaccine out"? That's unacceptable, Alex. I don't.
At each step of the way. We went out and found the very best people on the planet to do the job, who you just talked with. Dr. Slaoui,
Exactly,
the world's most
mighty.
successful vaccine developer. General Perna, one of the world's most qualified logistics leaders. When I first talked to Dr. Slaoui and General Perna about our goals and recruited them to this effort, we dreamed of being at the point we're at today, on track to achieve the incredibly ambitious goal we set together. The President gave us the full financial support we needed, enabling us to invest more than $10 billion to de-risk vaccine companies' development efforts and manufacture product in advance. Our completely unprecedented partnership with the Defense Department has given us a comprehensive public-private plan for distribution and helped each Operation Warp Speed vaccine maker secure what they needed for manufacturing, including Pfizer's ongoing production this week. Operation Warp Speed has always had one goal: saving lives. The President has given OWS the independence it needs to achieve that goal and ensured that we're following the procedures that Americans expect for any medical product they take. At every step, ensuring patient safety has been our top priority. This process has been driven solely by science and data. So it's a shame that some, one example being the governor of New York, have actually injected politics into the process and suggested the possibility of intentionally delaying access to an FDA-authorized vaccine, which is simply unconscionable.
Are you going to threaten him too, Alex Azar? Oh, that'll be rich, man.
Because the President has delivered the full funding we need, the best people on the planet, and real independence for this project, Operation Warp Speed is doing something that's never been done before in history. This success means there is light at the end of the tunnel. Right now is not the time to let our guard down. We continue to encourage Americans to follow the 3 W's. Wash your hands, watch your distance, wear a mask when you can't watch your distance, and avoid settings where you can't do those things. Because of the incredible American spirit, because of what great scientists and public servants and innovators have done through Operation Warp Speed, we have such a bright future ahead of us. If we continue to protect ourselves, our families, and our communities, then I firmly believe that future will be here very soon. Thank you, Mr. President, for making that very bright future possible for the American people.
Oh my goodness. Thank you for being the monster of the nightmare, but the monster who says, well, you'll wake up soon.
Thank you. Mike Pence, please.
Alex Azar, you're a joke, man.
Well, thank you, Mr. President, and on behalf of the White House Coronavirus Task Force, I was grateful to just have a few minutes today to commend the team of Operation Warp Speed. It was your vision that we could harness the ingenuity and the creativity of America's greatest pharmaceutical and research companies to speed in record time a vaccine that would save American lives. You told the American people that we would have a vaccine before the end of the year, and some scoffed at that timetable. But I can tell you the team on Operation Warp Speed didn't. These great research companies didn't. And as you've articulated here, Mr. President, the American people can be comforted with all the news this week that help is on the way, that literally pending FDA approval of the Pfizer vaccine and perhaps very soon another vaccine that will be submitted by Moderna and even other companies that before the year is out, we'll be able to administer a vaccine to tens of millions of Americans, as you've said, Mr. President, beginning with those most vulnerable, beginning with our seniors all across this country, beginning with our healthcare workers and first responders, Ed.
Just real quick, Don, that's a really good point, and it's probably because he's still testing positive for COVID.
The point of the need. It is an unprecedented medical mobilization, the greatest in the history of our country, and I join you in commending this team. Let me also say, Mr. President, that the White House Coronavirus Task Force will be meeting with our nation's governors in our regular conference call this Monday. We'll be reviewing with them the progress on the development of a vaccine, our plans for distribution, but we'll also be reviewing each and every state's specific plans for distributing the vaccine. Continue to urge governors to have those plans developed and prepared and ready for immediate implementation. And finally, Mr. President, as we see cases rising around the country, as we see hospitalizations rising around the country, I want to encourage the American people with the news that as we have done from the very beginning, we're going to continue to move heaven and earth to make sure that your family has access to the level of health care that we'd want any one of our members of our family to have. I spoke to FEMA today, and as we heard reported at our last task force meeting, Mr. President, we're receiving requests from states for PPE, for personnel, but we're meeting all of those requests. And according to our team on the ground, we continue to believe that we'll be able to meet the requests for PPE and equipment, both from the Strategic National Stockpile, also from the commercial market, to make sure that those needs are all met. And the American people can also be confident because of the system that you established that since this past July, we're actually able to track PPE, gowns and gloves and N95 masks on a hospital-by-hospital basis. So we can continue to deliver, as you said, Mr. President, on that extraordinary record in America where no American who's ever required a ventilator has ever been denied a ventilator. No American who's ever required an ICU bed has ever been denied an ICU bed. So the good news today through Operation Warp Speed, Mr. President, is help is on the way. It's on the way right around the corner. As one of the members of our task force said recently, the cavalry is coming. But we want to encourage every American that we're going to continue to make sure that our healthcare system has the resources to support the equipment and supplies that they need. And we also, Mr. President, as we see cases rising, particularly in the heartland of this country, but in communities all across America, we encourage every American, as the Secretary did and as you have, continue to practice good hygiene, wash your hands, practice social distancing, wear a mask when that's not possible. We all have a role to play. We all know what to do to protect the vulnerable, to look after our families and our neighbors and friends. And we encourage every American, with all the good news this week, to continue to be persistent in putting the health of yourself, your family, your neighbors, co-workers, and friends first. And we'll get through this, and we'll get through this together. Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you very much, Mike. And thank you, everybody. Thank you
There he
very
goes.
much.
Later. Later. Of course, no questions. When will you address that you lost the election, sir? Oh, I love how the White House feed is staying with them. Typically, they'll just end it right there. But they're not. Oh, my. Interesting. You kind of wonder if, like, all these people working at the White House, now that the election's over, they're like, screw this guy. You know? He's done. Screw him. Oh, boy. Well, I mean, that was pretty much what all you guys expected. You guys called that. That was Donald Trump is taken. He says that, Operation Warp Speed was all me. Remember that? I mean, really what this is, it's just them trying to save face, right? I mean, had his ass just handed to him by the largest vote in the history of the country because of how he's dealt with this. Did he have anything to do with Operation Warp Speed, with creating that? I think it's gonna, you ask any one of us, I think that's gonna be pretty hard for us to swallow. That this guy has a problem solving bone in his body. This guy makes problems. This guy creates problems. This guy is why there's such a rush to a vaccine that made news a few days ago with its 90% effective rate in a trial, because people are so desperate to get out of the hole that this man has put us in. One man by himself destroyed an economy. Hundreds of thousands of lives are lost. Families destroyed, futures destroyed. And here he is with the audacity to say, "Oh, no. Remember, I'm the one who got you this vaccine." You know, good luck, Donald. Good luck rewriting history, right? Good luck trying to get your name into the history books as Donald Trump with his Operation Warp Speed delivered us the fastest vaccine in the history of the country, the history of the world, the history of science. Oh, man. Because of Donald Trump, right? That's why we had the fastest. Big difference there, right? Because of, right? Because of Donald Trump, we have warp speed. Because we needed to get out of that hole, and not thanks to Donald Trump. Big difference. Different. So, yeah, and Stevie, man, I mean, how ridiculous was that? In early on, if anybody is just joining us, I mean, he was trying to claim that everybody has ventilators. Not one person in the United States is going without a ventilator. Right, Donald, man. Like, cases are surging, hospitalizations are back up, deaths back up. Like, just because you say that you're the one who started Operation Warp Speed doesn't mean it's true. Show us. Show us the facts. Give us the data. Nobody's going without a ventilator. Really? Really? Oh, I can't wait to turn on CNN, MSNBC, any real like news service, and them to go straight to these hospitals in what, Texas now has superseded over 1 million cases. California, like in some of these hot spots where hospitals are starting to fill up in parts of the Midwest. Really, Don? Everybody's got ventilators. Really? Absolutely right, ACP. We wouldn't need this. We wouldn't need this if it weren't for Donald Trump's ineptitude and his ignorance. Mind Flayer just got done with an hour-long debate with my conservative coworker on the merits of face masks. Look, man, I mean, like seriously, like put on a face mask, breathe through it, put your hand out here, breathe through it, and then take the face mask off, put your hand out here and breathe. Like night and day, right? Like night and day. And that's again, it goes to like, there are a lot of people who are like conservative who watch and listen to like Fox News, Donald Trump, or like neither, right? They just listen to like their friends or family members. And you have to remember, like, the conservative idea that, you shouldn't wear a face mask, that you shouldn't really socially distance, that you can do whatever you want, is just them doing what's easy, right? And so, like, we need to have these scientists go on to programs that people who only talk to conservative family members or their parents, they need to go on and programs that they watch so that those people can get uh, like informed by someone other than a boyfriend, a girlfriend, their parents. Because that's what I think a lot of this is that conservative media, they give you talking points that are really simple and really easy to parrot, and it doesn't take a lot of analytical thinking, critical thinking to understand the point. And it's also a lot easier on you, that right? Oh, yeah, I don't have to wear a mask, right? Yeah, masks, nah. This is kind of annoying. Like, look, I wear a mask wherever I go. Like my father is he's high risk. So I'm like masked up. I take care of myself. It's also for other people. I live in a city. Um it's annoying. It's annoying. It sucks, right? But the idea that it is going to save lives is makes it so that you have to do it, right? That you should absolutely do it. But if you just, oh yeah, well no, it's not going to save lives, then it's a whole lot easier to just, hey, I'm not going to ask, don't want to do it. But a lot of these people, my point is, a lot of these people are just parroting things that like their friends or their family members say. And so there's a way to get to them to convince them that like masks are important. And it's because like the way is through entertainment and media. And so we have to get these scientists onto shows like Ellen DeGeneres, Jimmy Kimmel, and Colbert. So what I've done is, and I was talking about this during the beginning of the stream, is I've tweeted at those guys saying like, you need to book Anthony Fauci on your show, because Anthony Fauci had a live stream last night where he was talking about how they've made mistakes talking to the people. And that's largely because Donald Trump doesn't really have any more power anymore, right? He's this lame duck president who can't really muzzle Fauci as much as he has been. Like, we got to keep Fauci in front of, we got to bring him out in front of these people, out of these people who are just listening to their family members, but maybe they do go on and they watch Jimmy or they watch Ellen. Like, if people who are like apolitical start to come around the idea of being like a little more political when it comes to, because mask wearing shouldn't even be political, right? It shouldn't even be political. It's not political. It's science. And it sucks that I have to say things like, oh, you apolitical, like daytime TV show hosts, late night TV hosts, you guys need to like step into the game a little bit by bringing on our top epidemiologist. Like, that's not being political. That's being like, let's just educate people. And so my Twitter handle is @BrendanPlank. And I have started to tweet at Stephen Colbert, at Jimmy Kimmel, at Ellen, to try to get them to bring Anthony Fauci on their show. So go and follow my Twitter account, or just go and tweet at these people, because like, this needs to happen as soon as possible. And it'd be so beautiful if Anthony Fauci, right, was the one who was out there doing all these interviews and talking to people about how badly this guy screwed up. Because we don't have until January 20th, right? 150,000 new cases yesterday. We don't have that time. People are dying. Like Ellen DeGeneres, Stephen Colbert, Jimmy Kimmel, like, you guys can save people's lives by bringing these people onto your show. That's me. That's what I think. Bridget, has any of these people had them on? Look, I went on to YouTube last night and this morning, and I searched for Fauci interviews with Kimmel and Colbert and Ellen, and I didn't find any. And so that made me believe that Donald Trump put a lid on him and wasn't letting him go onto those shows. He would let him go on to CNN and 60 Minutes. I mean, I actually, when Fauci was like heavily involved in the task force before he brought on Scott Atlas to replace him, essentially, Fauci, I don't think Fauci was going on CNN, or he was going on 60 Minutes. So it remained like it was clear to me. It seemed to me that Donald Trump muzzled Fauci. And the interview I watched last night, the live stream that I saw, um, it made me think that Fauci is kind of a weight has been lifted off his and that's I mean that's what I noticed last night. Joking, and he was being a little critical of the administration's response to the virus. Now, he wasn't flat out coming out and saying, like, look, Donald Trump has kept me quiet. I think that's going to happen January 21st. I think he's going to start to appear on these shows. Interviews are going to come out with how exactly they messed this entire thing up. And the stories, like, you guys think we're pissed at Donald Trump now? Like, you guys just wait until people can talk freely about how terrible this person was. Because everybody's got a lid on them right now. And we have to remember, somebody made a good point about um, you know, Mike Pence was he's trying to kiss Donald Trump's ass in the hopes that Donald Trump will endorse him in 2024, right? And we have Alex Azar saying, Mr. President, Operation Warp Speed, thank you so much. And we have the Secretary of State, Mike Pompeo, coming out and saying, well, the State Department is preparing for a Trump second term. Like, what we have to remember is that all of these people are going to get millions of dollars in the private sector in just a couple months. And what they're trying to do is they're trying to prove to their employers that they're faithful to their leaders, they're faithful to the corporation. That is huge. And it explains so much with what these people are saying, why they're still loyal to Donald Trump. It's because they're going to work. And remember, these people, this is the swamp, right? The Mike Pompeos, the Alex Azars, they're like the lowest of the low. And so what they're going to do is they're going to work for corporations that are the lowest of the low. And so those corporations are probably going to be doing shady things just like this administration did, and they're going to need to surround themselves with people who are loyal to the corporation, right? Just like Donald Trump surrounds himself with people who are loyal to himself, not the country, not the Oval Office, right? Donald Trump, you're loyal to 5 letters, Trump, right? That's what we're dealing with. That's what we're dealing with. So say things when people talk about how Donald Trump is amazing, when they talk, oh, Donald Trump, it's just, oh, how could we could have never done this without you. You have to remember, they're doing this for their next job. I think that's going to do it for me. I'll scrub through the comments real quick and see what you guys were talking about. Dawn is talking about the marches. That's scheduled for tomorrow. I mean, if there's going to be protests, I did some live streaming on the morning of the announcement for Joe Biden, and I had a couple interviews with some Trump supporters. I might go out and film the protests just to give you guys just a view of what's going on. I don't know if I should talk to anybody. I think giving them a voice is kind of a waste of time, frankly. Yeah. Bridget, yeah, I'm glad you agree. That's awesome. Dawn, Fauci said he last spoke to the Orange while he was in the hospital. Pitiful. Yep. Yep. Nation's top infectious disease expert, and he replaced him with a neuroradiologist who Fauci has explicitly said the guy just doesn't know what he's talking about. Thank you, Bridget. Yeah, thank you. Stevie, man, thank you very much. Wow, that's really nice of you. Awesome. Awesome. Appreciate it. Yeah, I mean, I'm trying to get monetization's back, but with the way YouTube is screwed up so much, it's really really been difficult. So um that those super chats go just such a long way, um helping out. Such a boost. Pia, he hasn't come on yet. Yeah, Donald came on. Yeah, you were here, weren't you? I don't know. Maybe you're not talking about Donald. So yeah, we're about an hour and a half in. And there's still so many of you who are tuning in. Thank you guys for watching. So again, I'll just plug the channel. This is Reflect News. I started this channel in 2016 to try to push that election one way, and it went the other way. And yeah, mind flayer, exactly. Yeah. And the election went another way, and so the past 4 years has just been trying to hold Donald Trump accountable. And now we're going to focus on solutions. I'd like to focus on solutions, bringing people together, and trying to heal. I think trying to heal. So you can subscribe to the channel if you're new. If you want to get my daily videos, which I'm starting to really, I mean, I've put these things out like early in the morning, at least here on the West Coast. I'm getting a few on by like 10 a.m. And in the videos, I'm just talking about, breaking news and what's going on. And then you can also, so you subscribe to the channel. You can also join as a member. Tomas Mundo is the latest member. And that'll get you special perks like early access to videos, and I'll be in the comments for those during that time where we can talk. And then you can also follow me on Twitter at Brendan Plank, where now apparently I'm trying to now I'm trying to get campaigns going, and the latest campaign is to try to get Anthony Fauci onto some late night talk shows and some daytime talk shows, so we get him in front of different people, different viewers other than 60 Minutes, and because that seems to be some of the only places on. So, and last, that's a good question. Do I have any political affiliation? No, I've I worked for I volunteered for Obama campaign on my campus in 2008. I went to University of California, Irvine. And the goal of the outlet is, like I said, it's just to bring people information, to bring important news to people that I think is important. And then also, guys, I really haven't talked much about it, but I also have reflectnews.com now, which one of my viewers pointed out was available. So I went like a month ago, and I think bought that. And so I'm pretty much posting all my videos over there, and other news stories too that I'm like linking to. And so it's just a great way for, if you guys check into the channel and you don't see anything, check over with Reflect News, and there might be some posts that I've included, some articles, some links to articles that I've included over there, because it's easier for me to just put a link into the website and an image, rather than create an entire YouTube video. At UC Irvine, I finished with a degree in both economics and political science. So I doubled in that, which kind of that's a funny story. I was the econ major at the University of California, Irvine. I came in with a bunch of credits just because I was an overachiever in high school, and so I came in with a bunch of credits for that, math credits, econ credits, and so I would have finished in like 3 years. And so my older brother, who was also attending Irvine, he was studying political science, and so and my father worked for the city of San Diego. And so that was always something that I was, just interested in. I grew up with my family watching the news. 60 Minutes was always on. News networks were always broadcasting. Because I grew up during the Bush years, right? During the Iraq War, during the early 21st century, when our country was trying to figure itself out, right? And so my older brother is studying political science, and he and I are both very competitive people. So I said, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna finish with a political science degree too. Yeah, so that's kind of nerd. Yeah, no, but I was also the captain of the football team, so take that. So yeah, that's kind of my background. Yeah, yeah, that's my background. That's where I've been. So yeah, guys. Okay, so I could stay on here and talk all day. If there's any other events tonight, like I'll go live again. I love going live. You guys are awesome. This is Carla. No, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Awesome, Bridget. Awesome. Yeah, so I am going to spin my wheels. I've been working all morning. I got to go take a bike ride or something. I got to go take a walk or stairs. And yeah, hopefully you guys like, maybe stretches or like that's also I want to start working on as well. But not yeah, I think 9 hour. Yeah, that's what I thought you meant. That's what I thought you meant. I don't know how I did that. That was like just like nonstop election news. Ah, yeah, bike ride. Ah, amen, Radu. Okay, guys. Well, that's gonna do it for me. There's if you haven't watched the videos from earlier today, I was talking about the Secret Service. Again, I mean, you guys were like, there's just so much going on. Secret Service video, Dr. Fauci, the campaign shows, and also the Lincoln Project. That video has gotten the most play today. So yeah, go check that one out. The Lincoln Project totally destroyed this shady law firm in Pennsylvania. Their lawsuit. Cheers to you, Stevie. ACP, Mind Flayer. You guys are awesome. Special thanks to you guys and my members. Just great. And thank you everybody else for tuning in and commenting and watching this with me. It wasn't a confession speech, but who gives a damn? The guy even concedes. We'll move on. Country's going to move on without him. January 20th. This isn't torture, man. Not with you guys hanging out with me and talking. So, all right, I'm gonna go. Take it easy, guys. I will see you next.